Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show. It's good to see all your smiley faces. How is everybody doing today? Thanks for joining us here. Yes, it is always great when you're here from all around the world. We've got an international audience who watches these shows that we put together called the Jim Masters Show. It is our entertainment lifestyle variety talk show series, and we've done again, we're counting and counting and counting as we go along, as I'm still so amazed by the amount of wonderful conversations and great entertainment and a lot of amazing things we've done. Over 655 episodes we have done here in our series of our entertainment lifestyle variety talk show series. And our guests come from around the world, our viewing audience who calls themselves the Lovity Squad, the JMS Lovity Squad. They watch from all around the world, and that's probably you. I thank you very much for watching as often as you do, whether you watch us when the shows are live or if you watch when the shows are archived, because we also archive every episode. So if you ever miss anything or you want to see something again, or you enjoyed an episode so much that you got to watch it again, or you want to share the links to our episodes on your social media and elsewhere so other family, friends, and colleagues and associates can see our series, you can feel free to do that because everything is archived. All 655 plus episodes and counting are on our YouTube channel. Matter of fact, this is on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, and we would absolutely love it if you would subscribe to the YouTube channel. That really helps our series grow amazingly. If you haven't subscribed and you've been watching all these great shows, there's no cost to do that. You just click the red subscribe button that you see right there at the head of our YouTube channel. And again, there's no cost. It just lets us know you're part of our JMS Lovity family. So hit that red button, subscribe, and we would love it. And we really appreciate it. You'll be also, if you click the notification bell, there's a little notification bell icon. It looks like a little bell. It's right next to the red subscribe button we just showed you. If you click that notification bell, you'll be kept abreast of all of the specials and surprises and upcoming episodes, special guests, and so much more. You'll never miss anything, especially when live, because all of it will be notified coming your way in advance, which is, again, really cool. Sometimes people do say, hey, Jim, I didn't know that show was on, or I missed it, because you don't have the notification bell clicked. So make sure you click that little notification bell icon and you'll get alerts about upcoming episodes of our series, which is really, really special. Don't forget also to give every episode you enjoy a thumbs up. There's a little thumbs up icon on our YouTube channel, and also give it a like. That thumbs up basically is the like. Leave a comment for us as well. That helps spread the word, and we absolutely love that too. I hope your day is going well. If it's not, you know this is the place to come to be entertained, to be inspired, to have a great time. Today, we're taking you to London, England. Yes, there's an incredible jubilee that's coming up in honor of the extraordinary Queen Elizabeth, and it's amazing, and everybody's been buzzing about it. You may remember we had a special guest on the show, and he came from London, England, to talk about what's going on and the amazing productions that are happening wrapped around it. Thomas was with us. You may remember. If you didn't see that episode, you can go back. And now we have Olga Thomas. Dr. Olga Thomas is joining us as well. Now, she is an extraordinary and renowned composer. She's also considered a royal composer as well. She's extraordinary. She's our special guest. We have lots of wonderful things to share with you, music and all kinds of incredible things that we want to share with you here on this episode. So enjoy, folks, and spread the word. Because Dr. Olga Thomas was born in Moscow, and she attended a very special school for gifted children, giving her first public concert at the age of 8 years old. And she gained a PhD in music and dramatic art at the renowned Tchaikovsky Conservatory in Moscow. And she has composed and performed original music for various productions. She has worked with the BBC and also RADA with such actors and directors as the late Susanna York, and the late Corinne Redgrave, Sarah Miles, and Nicholas Leprovost, also Peter Kavanagh, Francesca Annis, Juliet Stevenson, and Bill Nighy, and so many others. Her compositions range from classical drama to murder mystery thrillers to modern themes as well. Her work includes the Douglas Suite, written for the Douglas dynasty, whose friendship and support means so much to her. Images for drawings by Peter Falk, yes. The Cherry Orchard, and directed by Peter Kavanagh for the BBC. The Furniture Suite, commissioned by John Bly of BBC's Antiques Roadshow, and Regent's University London theme as well. She has an extraordinary background within her family as well. She's also the resident composer for the cruise bereavement care. Olga wrote cruise's anthem, Restoring Hope, and several pieces presented to Her Majesty the Queen, including themes of life and glory, a tribute to the Queen Mother, celebration, an orchestra piece written to mark the marriage of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, the anthem Jubilation for the Diamond Jubilee, performed by the band of Her Majesty's Royal Marines Portsmouth Royal Band. They also recorded Royal Lullaby, a gift for the royal baby, and Thank You Very Much, both arranged by W01T Hodge, MBERM. Olga was also privileged to present a CD of her compositions to Her Majesty, the Queen, in England at a special reception for cruise's Golden Jubilee held at the St. James's Palace. She's recorded and released many of her pieces over the last several years, and she was delighted when Royal Platinum Love Song went straight to #1 in the iTunes classical music charts. The single was to celebrate Her Majesty the Queen and His Royal Highness Duke of Edinburgh's platinum wedding anniversary. All proceeds actually went to cruise bereavement care, which is an absolutely beautiful thing. She also went on to release a further single, Royal Hollywood Love Song, which was to celebrate Prince Harry's wedding to Meghan Markle. Olga also achieved a top 10 classical iTunes position in the charts, and all monies raised also went to charity. Olga continues to deliver her passion for the royal family, with many interviews and taking place with the world's media, offering her expert opinion on royal music at weddings in general, too. And really, it's absolutely beautiful what she's doing. We're going to talk more about it. But one of the very special things, she was appointed in 2020 to the role as a professor at the London Performing Academy of Music, composition visiting professor. As well as this, she was honored to become an art patron of the British Monarchist Society, which is another fantastic thing as well. Her latest single, Flowers on the Doorstep, was released on Friday 16th in 2020. The single went straight to #1. This is the third time Olga and Joanna Forrest have hit the #1 spot in their iTunes classical charts. And then there is the Jubilee. There is this wonderful thing that is happening that everybody's so excited about. And you may remember we had Thomas J. Archimedes here on the show as well. And that was so fantastic to have him here. And now we have renowned composer Olga Thomas joining us live and direct from London, England. There she is. We welcome her to the Jim Masters Show. How are you today? It's wonderful to have you here, Olga.
Hello. Thank you so much for inviting me. Being on such a show, I can be only happy, excited, and looking forward to our chat.
Now, what's really wonderful, too, is you saw the episode when Thomas was on from the British Monarchist Society, and he was talking about this fantastic recording and everybody being involved in it and the celebration of the Jubilee and all the excitement that's happening in the UK surrounding around the Queen, Her Majesty. Tell us about this exciting event that's happening.
It is just such a wonderful event. I was greatly privileged to compose private musical gifts for the royal household for many years, being a resident composer for cruise bereavement care, where Her Majesty is the patron. I never done it by the royal appointment. I would say I've done it by appointment of my heart, of my love for the royal family, and of my soul. Royal family means so much to me. So as a resident composer of the cruise bereavement care, where Her Majesty is royal patron, that is what I'm doing. I'm writing those musical pieces to commemorate every event in the life of the royal household. And then, on behalf of Cruz, it is presented to Her Majesty. The beauty of it is that all proceeds, 100% goes only to the charities. And usually it is Cruz bereavement care, but I had quite a few occasions when Royal Marines Royal Band recorded my album, and then it also goes to Royal Marines charities. So we have it split sometimes, but it is always 100% donated. And it makes me feel very special that I can leave such a legacy, because for me, that is a real legacy. So I was approached by the head of Monarchist Society, the founder, a very interesting person whom you interviewed, and I watched it. It was very enjoyable broadcast. Thomas Mace Archer Mills, and he apparently knew my music, and he told me that he played it before on his radio. He has his own radio society, and their own magazine. They're a very interesting organization, and they're educational organization. So we need such an organization because people need to know what it is all about. Knowledge is very important, and Thomas is fantastic educator because he is real great expert and he knows how to deliver this information. So Thomas invited me to become an art patron of the society, which was wonderful, and I really felt greatly honored, and I took up this position, and it's wonderful. And then when I was planning to compose my next piece to celebrate jubilation, which I would always do for every event, Thomas suggested to join forces rather than me doing it separately and society separately. And it was a great idea. I was delighted to join forces and do it for the society and to celebrate such a fantastic event with them. Thomas had a beautiful conception of this project. His idea was to present at first the image of the coronation, to take us through historical journey. It's like, to tell the story properly, not one-sided, but fully comprehensively. So when I came on board, they already had the second piece in the process, and second piece, great piece called "We Thank You from Our Hearts." That is a journey through it's world journey through Commonwealth with the sound of Maoris, with the sound of Australia, India, Celtic sounds. So basically to show how Her Majesty is loved all over the world. But they decided that it would be a great idea. It was Thomas's conception to have a first piece about England, how it all started. So I would say it is a story, our anthem, in two chapters, which both are equally important and together create the project. If it wasn't for Thomas, I would have done it just as a traditional English musical gar style, pomp circumstance, and as an instrumental piece. That would have been, I've done a lot of that sort of state processional music, which immediately evokes, Great Britain. But Thomas's idea was to bring vocals there. And these vocals, these three Latin words, Vivat Regina Elizabetha, he arranged it in such a way that putting these words, it takes you immediately to the coronation. It's so evocative. And that was his great idea, to bring vocals there, because second piece is pure vocal. It's fantastic. But with this one, I thought it would be instrumental, processional. But with the vocals, it becomes something which is almost filmic, cinematic. It takes you to the coronation. You can see it through the music. I absolutely love to write music, which is always has some visual image. That is me, sort of like film music. I don't write sonatas, concertos. It's not my interest, though. And I'm a classical composer, properly trained classical composer. But I like to write it like film music, like visual. Whatever situation I see in life, I immediately turn it into music. I can go to the shop for the groceries, and I hear some music about that situation. So
What inspires you? Yeah, you obviously, like you say, you can go grocery shopping and be inspired. What are some of the things that inspire you? I would imagine for that ability to be able to be inspired while you're shopping or you're out amongst people or nature, you are keenly aware of everything going on around you, all the senses, the smells, the tastes, the
yes,
feeling, and you're always sort of recording that, absorbing that, and then you take that you've absorbed and you turn it into beautiful music.
absolutely. I always joke that I have sort of background application running in my brain, which
Yes.
constantly composes music. And the funniest, I think, experience was when I was learning to drive. And instead of learning to drive, I was driving my driving instructor up to the wall because I was composing. And we have in England very funny thing when it is roundabout and you have to exit it the right way. You just go and go. If you miss your exit, you go again. And we were going the
Yes. They
roundabout. And
have those here too.
instead of
Yeah.
learning it, I started composing roundabout waltz, which was for me an idea. When you think you exited, it is a beginning. And I composed such funny roundabout waltz that, believe it or not, it came to attention to your late great Hollywood celebrity, Peter Falk. And he liked it so much that he suggested to call it the same idea, Just One More Thing.
Just
And
one more
I've
thing.
done it. Then he invited me to his
Peter
house.
Falk from Columbo, this TV
Hello,
series. Everybody knows that. Peter Falk. Yes.
yeah, Lieutenant Columba. And in his house, he showed me his drawings. He was a fantastic artist. And he told me,
Yes.
I like so much your roundabout waltz, which now we're going to call Just One More Thing. And I want you to write like sort of pictures at the exhibition. Music for 10 of my favorite drawings. Can you do it? I said, yes, I can. And I wrote a special cycle, which was called Drawings for Images by Peter Falk. But it started from me learning to drive. It's about roundabout and inspiration. But being back to Thomas, he really inspired me with his idea, and he was very clear what he wanted. And that is great when you deal with people who commission you to do something. It is great when they know what they want. And
Right.
because he knew, he gave me this conception, and it started immediately run in my head. We got together at beautiful Rubens Hotel, and I said, Thomas, I already know what it is going to be. I need to play you the theme, but I don't know, do we have the piano somewhere here?
Hmm.
And he said, yes, we do. And I played to him, okay, that is going to be this, that is going to be that. It was an amazing experience because I was very lucky. We did think alike, and we do.
I love that. How did you get started? I mentioned just briefly, and when I did the introduction, that's really just the short list of the extraordinary opportunities you've had and the wonderful experience and expertise you've developed. But it goes all the way back to the age of 8 when you were going to that wonderful school for gifted children. Tell us about those early years and when your family and when educators really started to understand and appreciate at a very early age for young Olga her incredible passion and her ability, talents, and capability early on. Tell us about those inspirations and some of those opportunities that came your way at age 8 and forward.
Okay, yes, I started pretty early, my inspiration. Speaking of, I have very interesting descent. My ancestors are very interesting. It was a combination of inventors and musicians. My family came from that background, and they combined both. And I think in some way, I brought both to life. I'm a creator, inventor, and I'm a musician. That's what made me a composer. So my great uncle, he studied at Brussels Conservatoire. Then he was principal of London Philharmonic, and then for 10 years, and then in America he worked with Bernstein, being principal and founder of Eastman School of Music and Rochester University, the Department of Violin. So I had another few uncles. One was principal cellist violinist, another was another great violinist, and I had a great aunt who was a great piano player. She studied in Warsaw, so family was all over the world and all musicians. So I think I do have something in my genes which was very musical. But speaking of inspiration, I had a very interesting experience when I was 3 years old. I noticed that when I go to bed, my mom, who was a great piano player, she was studied because she had me distracted her education, and she studied piano and was completing her higher education when I was already alive and 3 years old. And I noticed that whenever I go to bed, she goes to practice piano. And I started asking pretty early to go to bed. And I gave such a fear to my family because they said it's not normal. Child wants to stay awake and not to want to go to bed. And that child was insisting, Mom, I want to go to bed. Can I please? She was very, all I wanted, just everything stop and I will be listening to my mom playing. That when I was 3. So when I was 4, I tried with one finger to compose something. I tell you the truth, which is my little secret. I did compose something with one finger when I was 4.
Did you really? One finger when you were 4?
One ta 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 ta. If I knew how to use it properly when I was trained, but with one finger, was ta ta ta. I just knew where to press to make some nice melody. And what happened? It happened to be quite a catchy little tune. And years later, when I was in England, I was asked to work with our famous West End producer, Bill Kenwright, on the production of The Cherry Orchard. And I decided this tune will very well work for one of the leitmotifs. And I put it in, incorporated it into the story, into the score. It was recorded by the musicians. And I didn't tell anybody that it's what I've done when I was 4. I had to pretend, oh, it's such a hard work.
Yeah. Oh, it's like I slaved over a hot stove over this one.
So that was my 4. And 8, what it could have been about 8, because by 8 I was composing quite a lot. By 8 I was composing, but I tell you, Jim, I had one interesting thing. For me, composing was the most important thing in my life. And I thought I will not disclose anybody that I'm doing it, because what if somebody would say, oh, for me it was so sacred that I kept it a secret, and I kept it a secret for many years. And then when I entered conservatoire, I came across fantastic composer who was film composer a lot, as well as classical, just normal classical, Edison Denisov. And he was the only one whom I decided to tell what I'm doing. And he told me, Olga, I don't want you to change any of your approach because you are so natural and raw. I want you to stay this way. I don't want you to turn into cliche. So I'm not going to teach you anything. I'm going to spend with you every lesson by playing piano duets, sight reading. And that is, we won't tell anybody. And you just stay where you are. And it's fine. He's done a good job because I managed to save my individuality, but my identity. But one thing which he did teach me, it was orchestration, because he even didn't teach me that. He thought I will use my mind and find out the best way. And I do. I write myself a full score, but I do not put the final touch. I write it like a designer and then give it to the orchestrators. And in a way, it's very lucky because as I'm not doing it myself, I bring into my life absolutely fantastic orchestrators and arrangers, like one of them, great Robert Emery, and I'm totally delighted to work with him. So I'm sure that nobody can do it better than people who are conductors, because they know the whole body of the orchestra. But I have pretty clear idea what I want. So that was my
How do you know
my
when you're
experience. I kept it in
pleased?
secret for many years. And then when I came to England, I opened my secret a big way.
How do you know when you're working on a piece, when it's done, when you're happy with it, when you're comfortable with it and you're at peace? Because I'm sure there's a lot of editing and tweaking as you go along and you're working on the compositions. How do you know, Olga, as the creator, when you're satisfied with it? What do you look for? What do you need to hear and feel when you've composed something and it's met your expectations and the level that you've set for yourself, where you can say, it's done, we are finished with this, now let's create it further with the instruments and everything else? How do you know when you are comfortable with being able to let it be complete? Like writing a book, how does an author know when the book is done with the last sentence and not to add more or redo it again? How does that work for you, Olga? It's quite a process.
It is very interesting. I think there are different processes of creating, and I would put two major ones. One, when you create bit by bit and you build up some piece. Another one, when you dig out from the earth the whole piece and you just clear it and slightly tidy it up. That is my way. As I said, I'm always joking that my pieces are born like wisdom tooth. It comes out ready. Or I also compare it to the goddess Athens, who was born, grown up, and been dressed. So that is how I compose. I do not build it up bit by bit. I compose it, it's ready. And then I start cleaning it and tidying it up and removing what is not needed. And I would say first of all, when piece comes to me, I do not record it, I do not write it. I decide if it is good, it will stay with me. I will not lose it. If it is gone, it is passing by idea. And unless it comes back to me, I don't have to worry about it. If let's say some idea came to me, I don't do anything about it. Following day, I get up. If it is in my head and even stronger, more intense, then I go to the piano and I try it first. Piano version, and I change it. I feel okay, something is, I know when I put the final chord, then I record it, I listen to it, I try to understand, did it meet what for me would be standard, if it evokes the image I wanted to do. As I said, I do not write pure musical pieces like sonata, concerto, study. For me, it has to deliver the image which I have in mind. For me, music is always very visual. And for that reason, like, with the latest piece, when I was talking, it's coronation. You have to make people, through listening to your music, see it. Sometimes when you do music for the radio, you have to, without showing any video, let people see through your music. So if by listening, I just go completely objective, if it brings me the image what I wanted to create, I know it is done. And it might be suddenly following day, I think, I know what is missing. I think it has to have this. So I put it in, then I go to my software and start loading the piece. And then I listen to it again. And I might give another day, and then I know if it's settled and it doesn't scream, change me a little bit, edit me a little bit. If I listen to it and I feel fully satisfied a few times, I know it is done. And then I get ready. I prepare it to be dressed by the orchestrator.
Now, when it's going to the orchestrator and then the musicians are starting to come in and start to do their magic, are you usually there for all of that? Are you there through all of the process, or do you take the composition and then it gets sent off and then they work it from there? Are you there by their side every step of the way? Because I would imagine the composition for you is like a child. It is your baby.
And it is the baby whom I am very happy to send to the best boarding school, as horrible as it sounds, because if I get the top arranger, I send the baby to them. I know that at some stage I have to stop telling, do this, do that. And what I have an agreement with my arrangers, they would never change anything. And if they have some idea, they come to me and run it by me. So I know the baby will be looked after the best, because nobody can orchestrate it better than people whose specific thing is to orchestrate. And so I would not interfere unless something I'm particular, because I have great professionals who know my style, and I know with them we will be a great team. But they would never do anything before I approve it. And they call me, do you mind if I think, once orchestrator even called me, he said, Olga, may I ask her permission? Is it okay if first part we repeat, because it is so good, and then it will be good balance with the middle? Even that I would allow. I gave it a thought. I think it makes sense, and it was a vocal piece, and I just asked the lyricist to do another verse, because orchestrating it all, I'm listening, Olga, I miss one more repeat of the beginning. It was the piece called By My Side, which got number one in the classical charts and knocked off Ed Sheeran. That was that piece I'm telling about.
Wow.
When Olga came back to me and asked me to do another repeat. So that is okay, as long as nothing is changed. I'm pretty fussy, but they know how to work with me. They just realize my design. So I'm totally happy.
I would imagine too, when you've composed something and then you hear the interpretation of the orchestrator and the arranger, and then you hear it come to life with the musicians and performers, sometimes it even takes it to another level that exceeds what you wrote. You designed it, you created the ground floor, and then they have a little of their vision and they bring it to life even more. And then you hear the piece as it's performed, recorded, and you're like, oh my God, that is beyond. I had my vision, I had what I created, I had my visual, and now these experts that are brought in, the orchestrators, the others, take it to another level that exceeds and expands on what you have created. That must be an extraordinary feeling when you're actually hearing the music being played for that very first time.
Yes, it is absolutely beautiful feeling. And I think I more or less have some idea what it will be like. And I would tell you that when I hear it, I just think, I can't believe that apparently what I imagined was possible to come out so interesting that it gives me goosebumps, pimples, this orchestral sounds. Like I remember when I heard for the first time my piece with a 73 pieces orchestra. It was for Royal Platinum Love Song, done by Robert Emery, which was with a lovely performance by Joanna Forrest and Daniel Cook. And it was another piece which got number one in the classical charts. And it was written for 70 years celebration of Her Majesty being married to Prince Philip, late Prince Philip, and called Royal Platinum Love Song. And I was delighted when this celebration of life was played a lot after, unfortunately, Prince Philip passed away. This piece was played a lot on the radio station, and I was very happy that celebration of life was connected with this most beautiful, romantic love story of 20th century, the love of Her Majesty and Prince Philip. So that was with my Royal Platinum, which I did. At first, I heard it myself, I did it like a piano version. And then I imagined the orchestra. I wrote it like for the orchestra. Then Robert Emery came on and he made it such an orchestra and he brought such a choir. I mean, it became completely epic, cinematic. And when I heard it, I thought, wonderful. That is what in my dreams I did have, but it was totally, unexpected that it will be like that. I had one very funny experience when for the first time my song, it was Lullaby for Prince George. I heard it for the first time done by the orchestral ensemble of the Royal Marines Band, and they I think that was another time when it was totally different, because I played it on the piano. Then I thought it might be a big orchestra or something, but they chose little small intimate orchestral ensemble, and it became almost like a Christmassy song. So that was very interesting angle. I loved it.
That is. I love the little giggle laughter, because that's pure, authentic joy for what you do. Music is very transformative. It's very healing. It's a universal language. For you, why is music in general so essential, not just as a career and as an expert at it, but why do you need it in your life as deeply as you do, and to the point of wanting to create it and gift your creations to all of us, Olga?
Oh, thank you. It put so beautifully what music means for me. I think basically it is my identity, because that is how I express myself. That is how I deal with everything. That is how basically I leave everything. As I said, this background application, everything is turning into music. And sometimes I think it is very interesting to put it into actually something tangible which you can hear. But it is so me. I cannot, practically every situation turns in my mind into music. And I had one very funny story when I was told for the first time. It was then I was doing my first royal piece. It was Themes of Life and Glory, dedicated to the memory of the Queen Mother. And I was told that when this piece was done, the charity Cruise Bereavement Care, they decided to present it as a gift to Her Majesty at St. James's Palace. It was my first piece which was presented, and that's how my writing for the royal family started, and I was very privileged to present it myself. So what happened, one of the trustees of the charity, she called me and she told me, Olga, we played your piece and everybody applauded, and they say that's what we want to present to Her Majesty. And I happened to be by nature a very modest person, and I couldn't believe it. So I asked her, this trustee, I said, are you sure they really meant it, or they just being polite? And she said, oh yes, they meant it. And then she put the phone down, but she didn't really. And I heard what she said. And she was always teasing me. And whenever I was in doubt, I think it's a good quality not to be self-obsessed, not to be, to be in doubt. It's great driving force to be modest and to be in doubt. Did I do it right? And she always laughed at me and called it insecurity alert. Olga started insecurity alert. So she put phone down, and I heard what she said she said, Olga, being true to herself, da, 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 it's sound of ambulance, da, 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 insecurity alert. And I thought, that's it. I'm going to write a song, insecurity alert. And I wrote the song, Insecurity Alert. And believe it or not, this song was liked so much by the Royal Marines that they edited as a bonus track to my album Jubilation. And it was basically written as a joke, self-mocking. So that is how my mind is working. I thought it's quite funny.
And see, that's the thing. Even though you have this wonderful, regal and elegant way about you, and you're a PhD or doctor, and I mean, you have all this expertise, you also have an understanding of the human condition and of levity and joy and humor, and can even weave some of the humorous side of Olga into your work too, right?
Oh, very much so. Absolutely. I have two comic songs. One is Insecurity Alert, and I wrote the words myself for that. And another comic song, it's called Inverted Snowberry, and it is about our very strange historical terms for medical titles, because in England, if you are a doctor, you're trained at first as a doctor, and then if you become surgeon, you are not called the doctor, you're called Mr. And that is very funny, because sometimes he's a doctor. I'm not a doctor, I'm a Mr. So that's what we called inverted snobbery. And I thought it sounded story that I have to write a song about it, and I call the song Inverted Snobbery.
What are a few other words that you've heard that are funny in that way? Not a doctor, I'm a mister. Are there some others that you stand out that you could share for our audience? I know they're loving this.
From there, you mean about about Dr. and Mistra? It is a legend. Legend is that we have really, it's not a legend, it's part of history. There were two divisions. Doctors came from apothecaries, people who understood in the medicine.
Yes.
And surgeons came from barbers. So at first it was barber surgeons, so they could treat, teeth, cut hair, and at the same time, from that surgeon came. So that's why they were misters. That is how this division happened. And they went their separate ways. And the legend is one surgeon for throat, ENT, they called the ENT surgeon. He told me the legend, and I was absolutely fascinated. He said that the legend was that Queen Elizabeth, the first, not the second, she had quite a serious boil, and it was treated by medicine, and it didn't work. And then this barber surgeon came, and he cut it, and then it was immediately cured, and she told him something like, "Thank you, doctor." And he said, "I'm not a doctor, Your Majesty, I am a mister." And that is the legend which absolutely fascinated me, and I immediately started to doing this song. You see, I hope Thomas won't be very angry with me, because he's a royal expert. He will know historical part.
We're talking about Thomas J. Archer Mills. Yes.
Yes, that's who we're talking. But that is another side of with a comedy, and that is the words which I started. It was Queen Elizabeth I had a boil which wouldn't burst, and her doctor found to right decisions, etc. So then and it has.
See? Even the Queen gets boils. It happens to all of us.
Well, so,
we're all human.
I do have a lot of, fun doing something like that for
Yeah.
change. So that is another side of me.
And when people first meet you, or when they know the professional side and all the other, do they expect that humorous side to come out, or are they shocked and surprised and they love it? They're like, "Oh, Dr. Olga Thomas, you have this whole other side. I love it."
I think they're surprised. And I tell you that when I was young, I was teaching at this school where I came from, special school for gifted children. And one of my pupils, apparently I found out much later, he was telling, you think she's so serious. I know what she's like in the evenings. My God, what did he mean?
In the evening.
They don't expect. Once I did something absolutely outrageous. I was at some party, and there were a lot of people at a friend's house, and they were asking me, "Can you play this? Can you play that?" And then I decided, why don't I play for them? And it was just totally perfect moment. Harry Lime theme from Third Man, with two hands and one heel. I had stiletto heels, and I've done it. I played, Jim, especially for you, I will send you a video of it, because it is really funny. And what happened, I've done it, and everybody was just lying out of laughter. What I didn't realize, at that party, they had famous writer from New Zealand, and he was writing a diary. And then this book came as, I think it's called Book Self. This book, not bookshelf, but Book Self. And he made a chapter about the story how I played with my heel. And then it became one of my little secrets, which nobody expects from me when I play with my heel. So what happened later, we were recording my album with the Royal Marines, and one of them knew about it, and he asked me to do it for the Royal Marines, and I've done it. And they were so impressed that when one of the Marines was having his goodbye party, he was leaving to start teaching, they especially for him prepared me playing with my heel, because it was put on the big screen. So Royal Marines were totally taken by it. So sometimes I'm a little bit misbehave. Happens. Professor can allow themselves to do it. Otherwise, it will be too academic, wouldn't it?
Exactly. And it's a great release, right? You have to have the comedic side because I'm sure the other side is so intense and so focused and
And so non-stop stress.
right. So you
Yes.
have to have the balance of release of a comedic side of your music and your work, which I think is beautiful. And I love that too. I'm the same way when I'm working in my professional work and in television and radio and stage and film. I'm very focused and clear, and I'm on a mission. I want us to succeed. I want to accomplish, great things. I want to, I'm very serious about the work, but I'll find ways to add a bit of levity and release and breathing. Always look for the humor or something that sort of brings us all together and sort of melts the ice for everybody when they're all stressed out and everybody's all hyper.
Always do.
We need that in our lives, right? And you do that as well, which is fantastic.
For many years, Jim, it was my way to cope because when I was growing up in Russia, and it was pretty horrible because for me, I'm always been very fond of the royal family, and I close royal family, but I keep it very close to my heart, and that means a lot. And in Russia, they executed royal family, including little children, because that way killing innocence for the greater idea. And I had to be a child, and I knew I cannot say what I think about it. This later I was growing up, and I was told you cannot criticize Stalin because whole family will be then in trouble and you might lose us. You have to keep quiet. So I had to keep quiet about everything and keep it inside me, and I was dealing with it just being funny and trying to help other people to cope through sense of humor. So, turning everything into, joke, fun, farce, because that was the only way.
Farce, that's a good word. Absolutely.
I had one example of my humor that I think I may share with you. It's quite funny. I was one time in Greece, and I happened to be caught in the fire. It was the hotel. And I woke up when it was on fire, and fire happened next door, and they didn't have fire escape because I was last door and next corridor. And next door, fire happened, and my exit was blocked. Oh. And I thought that is the end. At first, it was absolute horror, and then I'm a great believer. I got the Bible. I filled. It was no balcony, just a window. I opened the window. I filled in all the whatever I could with water, and I made a towel wet, put it next to me. Then I took my Bible and I was getting ready. And then I told myself, how many people at this moment are dying? So, okay, you just think of that and pray, and all will be. So I was sitting there, and then I thought, okay, once I'm dying, what would be my last music going out? And suddenly, Jim, what came to my mind? Smoke gets in your eyes. And I thought,
oh my God.
My God, aren't I so witty? Oh, I am so brave and witty at that moment. And I thought, I'm so witty. If I survive, I will tell everybody about it. I'm telling you.
It's in your eyes.
So then eventually what happened?
Well, the other option would have been, come on, baby, light my fire.
I wanted
something that's soothing.
Yeah, more soothing.
That is amazing. You've never thought of being a comedian, huh? I think you are through music.
My faith was reignited by fire, Jim. Can we say that? Yeah,
that's right. Exactly. Well, at the center of the earth, lots of fire, right?
They broke the door, and I was sort of half conscious, but I was understanding that somebody's coming. They had to kill the fire, and then they came and they were carrying me out, and with my feet I felt all this hot. I felt like hot river, and I was just hugging and kissing them all for saving me. And it was very interesting because once you have this happy end of something, it takes away all the stress of the pain. But I thought I was anti-witty. I am so funny. Smoke gets in your eyes. I have to tell everybody. So
How did surviving a massive fire at a hotel in Greece change you? Coming out of a very close call, an event like that,
well,
everybody's changed in some way, just like we have been the last 2 years with everything going on around the world and all the things that
yeah,
have happened recently. It changes you, your
it
perspective.
teaches you.
How has it done that for you along the way? And how has the last 2 years of everything with the health, worldwide health situation, how has that inspired you in some way too?
Well, we always think that when people, we all are fine, we're jumping around, and somebody gets some illness, and we think, oh my God, this person might die or something. But in reality, we all are so fragile, and we all can just be gone like that. So we do not really think about it. We think about somebody whom we know who is ill or something, but we all are so fragile. When you experience something like that, you understand it comes from nowhere and you are gone. So you are learning to appreciate every second and not to waste it for rubbish, for worrying about something which really doesn't matter. So what we see now going all over the world with pandemic, we thought, in my experience, I feel like I'm living, for a few years, it was like living in the scientific fiction horror film with a medical thing. We saw these films when whole planet is pandemic, masks, but you never thought that you actually will be living like that in real life. So you learn that somebody died of COVID, and it didn't have to be a hit and run, didn't have to be a war, didn't have to be cancer, didn't have to be a stroke. It just some sort of flu. You understand how fragile we are and how many people I know who are gone because of that. And it teaches you a lot. Now, with the war, when it's another type of horror story, I'm talking to my friends in Ukraine, and it's not a film. They're actually telling me, oh, Olga, darling, now I have to run in the basement because they started bombing. And I think it's real life. I'm in denial, but
Because
it
what
is.
we see on the TV almost looks so horrific, like a
It is horrific.
movie, but
Not
this is actually happening
it is
on
happening
our earth in this time, in this year,
this
when
time,
we
and
thought we would never see things like this
again,
again.
in so soon after it happened before. You would have thought that people learned through the history, but I think I try to be optimistic. I believe that we people learn through the history, and people who start the war, they don't learn anything, and they have to be taught again. But we learn, and that's why I think we're much more together now from the beginning. We're much more supportive of each other. This horrible experience, I think, it just makes you to cherish what we have. And I think in a way, this last release, which we did, our anthem, it is on the back of the pandemic and with what's going on in the world. It is the song which we so much all needed, song to be united and to celebrate something which is steady in our life, and to celebrate Her Majesty, her 70 years. She was for us during the war, during the peace, in the hard times. She never given up on us. And for me, she is the queen, not only for people who were born here, she's the queen for everyone, for all of us. She's amazing to celebrate 70 years of her
70
dedication.
years.
And we need the song to be united. And I think that's wonderful what we've done.
Absolutely. And we have a song here that we want to share with our viewers watching. If you're watching for the very first time, we have renowned composer Olga Thomas joining us live from London, England. I'm your host, Jim Masters. This is the Jim Masters Show live entertainment variety lifestyle talk show series. And if you are watching for the first time, we welcome you. We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. That's the channel you're watching right now. and click the notification bell so you never miss any of our episodes. And if you're enjoying what you're hearing and seeing on this episode, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, and leave a comment. If you have any questions or comments, drop a comment on our actual episode here. Now, this is something really special. Again, we have some photos we want to show too, but this Jubilee anthem. Tell us, we had again Thomas J. Archer Mills on not that long ago. And if you missed that episode, folks, it was terrific. He's the founder of the British Monarchist Society, and he's very immersed in the royal family and everything British and royal. But at the same time, he told us about this extraordinary musical project that came together. Tell us from your angle how you got involved and the importance of this fabulous project.
Yes, it is. This project, as I said, for me, I've done a lot of pieces for the royal household. I've been greatly honored and privileged to do it, including my Royal Platinum, including my album Jubilation. This one is absolutely unique and special because it is celebration of Platinum Jubilee. 70 years of the dedication of our wonderful Queen to all of us and the country. And I thought, as I said, that Thomas's idea to give it, to present it in two parts is absolutely brilliant idea. So my piece is classical piece. It's called The Four British Nations, and it is very much in the style of traditional English music, Elgaresque, they say. And it has the words, which Thomas arranged these Latin words, Vivat Regina Elizabetha, which takes us back to coronation. So my piece, it has a state music flavor, very English and very traditional, as I said, Elgaresque, and it has a march, it has epic romantic middle part and, grand conclusion. And then we start a world journey, which is written about Commonwealth, about love for Her Majesty from Commonwealth, and that is done by wonderful Anton van der Meer, who is songwriter. He wrote with Thomas together the words for second piece, and it really takes you through all these parts where Her Majesty is loved and admired, and it is beautiful, uplifting, catchy music, and it's called We Thank You from Our Heart. It really, from our hearts, it really captures the whole idea of this hymn, of this anthem. And we have the same artists who are fantastic vocalists, our national treasure, Leslie Garrett, CVE, and Rodney Earl Clark, who is fantastic baritone, and London Community Gospel Choir, who are amazing. Britain Got Talent now. They're just absolutely fantastic artists, and it's such a joy to work with them. With all of them, yeah, I would say Leslie is absolutely amazing. She's such a great star, and she's fantastic singer, but her personality, she's funny, she's witty, she's so supportive, she really is so much down to earth, real joy to deal with. Rodney Earl Clark, whom I always want to call Earl Rodney Clark, because Earl, it's more royal, yeah, sounds bad. Rodney Earl Clark, he's a fantastic singer. He has amazing voice, and he is painfully good looking. And I told him that he has to be next James Bond. That's what I suggested. So, between us, we called to this couple, we called Rodney Mr. Cool and Leslie Mrs. Hot. Speaking of London Community Gospel Choir, I think they brought something so unique because they're spiritual. They managed through their amazing style to deliver the soul of the songs. It comes really, they deliver it straight to your heart because they are gospel. And that is so wonderful. And it's such a joy to work with all these people, with all my colleagues. So it was an amazing experience, which I cherish, and I'm greatly honored and grateful that it happened. And of course, my orchestral part was done by Robert Emery, who is always amazing. And we were just very lucky. And I'm so grateful. You see what this lot, just look at them. Aren't they adorable? Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I
Uh,
decided today especially to wear the same jacket to feel.
just for our show. I
Yeah,
think that's
just
terrific.
decided what I was wearing on this picture, which went in all the papers. I thought I will do exactly the same. Then people will recognize me. Maybe I'm not so recognizable.
Well, I was going to say the other choice that if you didn't wear that, you would have worn this, right?
I could, but I decided maybe it will be too much for our lovely casual talk. That might bring a little bit more professor and doctor, but I want
or,
Olga the
or
punk.
this. Look at this. That's very contemporary.
Yes, it's not better.
It's a terrific shot. Yes, it's a terrific shot. You pull off all the different looks very, very beautifully. This is a great shot here too. Tell us about this shot before we show the video with the music. Tell us about this special shot.
This special shot, I was invited by Cruz Bereavement Care, and I wrote, as I said, my first CD for Her Majesty, and it was suggested to present it to Her Majesty. I didn't know that it would be me presenting it. I was just absolutely thrilled to be invited to St. James's Palace, where Her Majesty was hosting celebration of 50 years. It was Jubilee. Golden Jubilee of Cruz Bereavement Care, which now is called Cruz Bereavement Support Charity. So I knew that my piece will be presented to Her Majesty, but didn't know that it will be done by me. So I entered the palace, and first thing I heard my music played on harp, royal harp.
Oh boy, that had to be beautiful, huh?
It was quite something. I was told that there will be some that I was asked to arrange few pieces for harp just as to play during the event. It was not on my CD. My CD included, main thing was Themes of Life and Glory, dedicated to the Queen Mother, to the memory celebration of life of the Queen Mother. And but I was asked to arrange few more pieces for the harp, and it was played by the royal harpist. So I entered St. James's Palace, and I tell you, Jim, when you asked what do I feel when I hear my music played, before that I heard my music for the first time. I remember many years ago, I heard in the theater, West End, then it was on the radio, then it was on TV, and then it was amazing. But when I entered St. James's Palace and I heard my music played by the royal harpist, I really had tears in my eyes. It was
I can imagine. And what was that sensation?
It was quite something.
And when you were shaking her hand, when she put the hand out, that had to be, I bet your feet were tingling.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't know that it would happen, because I thought everybody was told, the whole group of people, where they should stand. They were all put in different groups. And I wasn't told. And I've been with my, you will laugh, insecurity alert. I thought, oh, maybe it is a mistake. Maybe my music will be here, but I'm not supposed to be here. And then apparently I found out that the reason I wasn't put in any group, because I had to stay in the middle and present my CD. So they quickly told me what is the etiquette. Again, Thomas would know it all much better than me, but I was just very obedient. I knew exactly what I had to do. And when Her Majesty came, I was giving her my CD, and we had a little talk. It was very special, unique, absolutely unique experience, nothing to compare, because she is an amazing monarch and an amazing person. And I really have to say, we all thank her from our heart.
So beautifully said. Beautiful experiences as well. And again, here is the Jubilee anthem, which is absolutely extraordinary. Job well done by all. And we have something special for everybody listening around the world here on the Jim Masters Show. Matter of fact, there it is.
Yes, that is a physical CD, which now, of course, now it is available on all platforms. You know that the piece went to #1 in the classical charts, which is absolutely special. On Queen's birthday, the piece written for the Queen, #1 in the classical charts, which shows why it is so important. Appreciation of people. And it's beautiful story. So the piece is available on all musical platforms to be bought and downloaded and streamed, and all the information can be found, of course, on all these platforms, and all the information beautifully put together on the special website, the Jubilee anthem22.com. And also you can buy a physical CD as well from there, and from the website of the Monarchist Society. It's a very beautifully presented CD. Now it's limited edition, very special, signed by all of us, and something there inside very exciting. But if people go on the website, they can see what it looks like from inside. But please buy it, because it is unique edition. It is a collector's material. And please download the music, because the more we do it, the more we show our love and appreciation for Her Majesty.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Let's hear those websites again that people can go to. The British Monarchist Society, right? Their website. And then is it the Jubilee Anthem 2022.com? Is that...
Yes, it is. Yes, I can tell you.
Right on the back of the CD.
Yes, I have to make absolutely sure that I give the right name. The Jubilee Anthem 2022.com has all the information.
Jubilee Anthem 2022.com.
And there are the site is, I will tell you exactly. I mean, if one Googles Monarchist Society,
it all comes up. They have a wonderful site.
It is Monarchist Society. If you Google it, the actual site, it's themonarchists.com, I think it is. But if you Google it,
that's right. It is.
Yeah, themonarchists.com. Yeah.
All right. Here's that video, everybody. The Jubilee Anthem. Enjoy. It's absolutely beautiful and it's spectacular.
Yeah, and it is iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, all over the world. All the
musical platforms, which is fantastic.
Available, and I think we should keep it going. We should keep it going too.
Celebrating. We need a lot. We need a lot more in our world to celebrate these days, right?
And that's why it would be wonderful if people downloading, because the fact that it got #1, it shows how popular it is.
Congratulations to have gone #1.
More.
Not an easy task. Absolutely. Here it is, gang, in visual form here on the Jim Masters Show, and enjoy. Very beautiful. And we saw at the end there, Thomas J. Mace Archer Mills. And I thought I had a long name. That is fantastic. And
little teaser.
Now, little teaser, exactly. And again, you can get it all. Thomas J. Mace Archer Mills was amazing. You're amazing. And everybody involved in this project.
Yes.
Spectacular, huh?
Yes, all together. Yes.
That's what it is. And what has been, like you say, it's gone to #1. Has the royal family themselves, have they responded to hearing it? I imagine if so, it must have been extraordinary, their feedback.
It was absolutely amazing because it went straight away, about like maybe 15 minutes after it was released. And it makes you feel that that you appreciate it. Because I tell you, Jim, what really is, whoever we are, we may be well known, famous, celebrated, whatever it is, but really what makes us who we are, it is appreciation from our audience, and we should never forget it. And they keep our life in their hands, our professional life and our professional status and level. And when you get, it's not about, it's fine, but main thing, it is appreciation. So the fact that the anthem is appreciated so high, it makes you feel so, we just, I called Thomas and I said, Thomas, I think I even texted to him, congratulations, we're number one. And he said, you can't be serious. And I said, I am. And I sent him a screenshot.
A screenshot of number one.
Sometimes you have, good news, and it's lovely.
That's right. If folks missed that episode when Thomas was on our show, it was brilliant. He and I had an amazing conversation, and it's archived on our YouTube channel. He was also live from London, England, and we had a lot of levity and just a lot of incredible behind the scenes and insights and special moments talking about the monarchy, the British royal family, and all the elements to it all, because he's done reporting as well, correspondent work, official correspondent work on behalf of the family, which I think is beautiful. Look at this, Windsor Castle. That's a great shot, huh? That's another great one. And look at this one. And this one too. Those are wonderful shots, Olga.
Yes, it's I'm subscribed to your channel.
Oh, you are. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I will spread the word because it's a very good channel. I love the style so much, so I subscribed straight away.
Thank you very much. I mentioned earlier, Masters is a British name. They hail from Yorkshire on my father's side. Absolutely. Why do you love doing what you do so much, Olga? Why does this bring you such great blessing and joy in your life?
Well, a lot of different things. I am interested in everything. I would say I'm hungry for everything in life. I like to do, I will be honest, I do love doing charity work, because every time I do something special, I feel like I'm leaving legacy, because I learned very early, as I said, that very early, I understood how fragile we all are. And I lost my mom when she was 53, and I was about 29. So I thought that we can go any moment. It's wonderful to leave a proper legacy and helping. So I really do genuinely love charity work very much. I have a few, yes, I love reading a lot. I write in secret. Let's see what will come out of it. It's another little secret. I do write, not only music. What I don't do, I don't cook, and I don't know how to iron. Sorry, yes, don't know.
No cooking and ironing.
I'm lucky because my husband knows how to do both things. I'm extremely.
You cook up wonderful compositions.
Well, so I love teaching because
yes, professor work. Tell us about that.
I love teaching because often there is a feeling that if you teach, if you didn't succeed in what you are doing, which you intend to do, then go and teach. And I thought it is absolutely wrong. I think it was a famous line. I'm not sure. I don't want to say something wrong, but if I'm not wrong, I think it was Jascha Heifetz, when he was starting, his teacher told him, you are starting to be a great violinist. One day you might be able to teach. And that, for me, it's very interesting. I wanted to be a teacher who is a great success with a career, to inspire, and that is what I'm doing. I love to go teach privately, and I see my pupils, and they know that I'm number one in the charts, and they get so excited. And I said, well, work and you will get there. That is doable. And when they follow my success, they listen to me on the Spotify, they're my fans, and it inspires them even more to study. So I love teaching a lot, and I would say I have few more careers which didn't happen in my life. I think um, I love medicine, and in my side, from my father's side, from mother's side, of musicians, inventors. On my father's side, doctors, a lot of doctors. You see, I'm writing inverted snobbery about medical titles, so my interest to the medicine, and I have a lot of doctors friends whose hobby is music, and we're joking that my hobby is medicine, and I can spend evening with them having dinner when they're telling me all the cases of their patients, and they always say that we wish our families would listen, because I'm too fascinated. I'm learning, I'm doing research with them. I'm really very interested in medicine. I think that is in a way like the hobby music. And I think law would be another interesting thing, because I like logic, I like mentality, and I like to find the solution. I can hear when something is twisted, and I can catch it. And so often I'm told that I would be good. But I would say those are things which I'm interested. So I follow it sometimes, and read the cases. Yeah. So I'm very sort of widespread with my interests.
What is coming up for you in the future that you're excited about? Of course, the Jubilee is major, but what else is happening in the life of Olga that is exciting you might want to share with us?
Well, I am about to release very soon an album. I was waiting to make sure that my full 100% or 1000% of attention is for that release, but I'm going to release the whole album, because that is what I see as my duty for the charity where I'm resident composer for cruise bereavement care, cruise bereavement support, and I usually do for them, for their benefit, albums and singles. So this will be my album, which will comprise all my royal pieces, and it will be coming very soon, I would say at the end of next month, and it will be called Platinum Jubilee Celebration with Olga Thomas, and that will include all my royal pieces, including the last one, because it's nice sometimes to release a single and then to make it part of the album, to repackage it. And that would be very soon to celebrate Jubilee, and all proceeds will go to two charities. One will be cruise bereavement support, and another Royal Navy Royal Marines charity, because it will include a lot of pieces from my original album Jubilation, which was released for Her Majesty's 90th birthday and recorded by the Royal Marines Band, Portsmouth Royal Band. So that's why it is logical to donate 100% proceeds split into charities. So that will be my next thing. Then there will be a few concerts which will be coming in the autumn. So that is so far what is immediate plans.
That's fantastic. Congratulations. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. And I will, of course, support in different, in all possible capacities, Royal Monarchist Society as a patron. Of course, I will continue supporting. I will continue teaching and doing my usual thing. But speaking of the projects, that will be my next one, this album.
Congratulations. Well, I tell you, this was absolutely spectacular. And again, I know you enjoyed working with Thomas J. Mace Archer Mills and everybody on the Jubilee Project.
Absolutely.
And he was a joy to have on the show. And you're a joy to have on the show as well, Olga. I know you had watched that episode with Thomas and I, and then you wanted to come on the show because you enjoy the feeling, the vibe, the way we do the show. And I said, absolutely, I would love to have you on, Olga, and we get a chance to learn about your extraordinary and renowned background as a celebrated composer, royal composer as well for the family, and the Jubilee and everything that's happening. It's congratulations on job well done. And we expect much, much more from you. And I hope the show met whatever expectations you had, Olga, and you enjoyed the time with me and all of our viewers around the world as much as I certainly have with you. It was a pleasure having you with us.
Thank you very much. It was totally enjoyable, and I look forward to coming again. So I'm sort of, finding my way to be back. Okay.
I like that. Well, didn't Schwarzenegger say that? I'll be back. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back. So Olga said it with her wonderful, intonation and articulation. I'll be back. I'm sort of making my way in. Well, we always say we leave the porch light on for you. So we leave the porch light on. So you're welcome to come back anytime. And I truly hope you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with you.
Thank you. It was most enjoyable chat, and I look forward to coming back. And thank you very much.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. We appreciate everybody watching and commenting and all the beautiful comments from our lovely viewers as well. And somebody here, the legendary, renowned comedian and actor, George Burns, with us as well. And he says, with his tuxedo and his cigar, that he had a wonderful experience with you today on the show and thoroughly enjoyed it and was very happy to learn more about you, Olga Thomas.
Delighted. Absolutely delighted. Thank you very much. Absolutely happy to share and look forward to seeing you again, Jim.
Absolutely. That would be fantastic.
I subscribe to your channel, so I will be watching everything.
Thank you. Spread the word. If you know other guests around the world you think would like to pop on, everybody is welcome. We always have a wonderful time here, Olga, and we had a beautiful and brilliant time with you. Congratulations on the Jubilee project, and to you and everybody, and also for all the extraordinary music that you have penned and shared with all of us. We look forward to many, many, many years, continued years of beautiful music from you, Olga.
That is what music is for, to share and to make people happier and uplift them.
Absolutely. And this was a very uplifting conversation. Thanks for all of the wonderful time and your wit and wisdom. And we will welcome you back again real soon. Okay, Olga?
Yes. Look forward to it.
Thank you. Since you're in England, you can have a spot of tea now and a nice crumpet.
Okay. You think?
You've got it. See, there it is.
Fully prepared.
Fully prepared. And again, one more.
How can you be in England and not have a cup of tea? Huh?
You have to have. That's exactly it. And there's the CD again, available on all music platforms, a Jubilee Anthem collector's item, the platinum record, again, in celebration of the Jubilee of Her Majesty, which is really an epic event, right? There's a lot of events happening around this Jubilee, this project, but it's a major celebration in Great Britain, isn't it? Yeah. And a beautiful one at that. Olga, thanks for being with us. You take care and be well, okay?
Thank you for inviting me. I wish all the listeners absolutely wonderful time and look forward to meet up again. We'll meet again.
We shall meet again. We shall meet again. Take care and be well, and cheers. Bye-bye. The extraordinary renowned composer, Olga Thomas, joining us here from London, England. She's a big fan of the Jim Masters Show series. She was on when Thomas J. Mace Archer Mills was here on the show. And boy, did we have an epic time with him as well. And it was just really, really fantastic. She's amazing. And, as you learned, she also has a brilliant sense of humor. And she writes a lot of music, composes a lot of music for a lot of different pieces, a lot for the royal family too, but she's been doing this, since age 8 and maybe a little bit earlier. I think she mentioned age 3, and she's really brilliantly trained. She's gifted, she's talented, but she's also humorous and fun and affable and approachable at the same time. Olga Thomas, renowned composer and royal composer, joining us here on the Jim Masters Show for this epic sit down, warm, in-depth conversation like we like to have here. We don't call these interviews, we call these conversations, relatable, warm conversations with no time limit. We just let it roll. There's no pre-scripted questions. There's no teleprompters. It's not stiff. It's not stale. It's not assembly line. We like to have a lot of life in what we do here, and a lot of fun and entertainment and levity. So Olga was an amazing guest right here on the Jim Masters Show, coming to you from the United States of America, from the greater New York area. That's where this show broadcasts from, and our viewers come from an international following of lovely viewers. And isn't this a great photo when she was with the Queen as well, presenting with the Queen? Really fantastic. I want to let you know who's coming up tomorrow. We have renowned author, playwright, poet, and screenwriter David Matthew Barnes. He will be here on Monday. For those of you watching live, he's going to tell us, and he's going to reveal Love in the Shadows. Sounds a little intriguing, doesn't it? Yes, he's going to reveal Love in the Shadows and so much more coming up Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. So definitely join us from that. And then we have Kasia Pilowitz. She is an extraordinary actress and filmmaker. She's currently starring in The Bold and the Beautiful on CBS. That's right. She has a recurring role there. She also has a recurring role in the Canadian series, The Taylor Files. She's now in the new movie Alaska and the Plantation Tour and lots more. Television, film galore. She is of Polish-American descent, and she's going to be joining us live and direct from Los Angeles on Tuesday. We are very, very excited about that. Hey, did you guys see when Ava McMahon was here on the show from Celtic Woman and Anuna, singer, songwriter extraordinaire? We had an epic conversation when Ava was with us here. Dear friend, I have interviewed, I'd say, everybody from Celtic Woman over the years, nationally on American television on PBS, and many of them have stopped by the Jim Masters show as well. If you didn't see the episode when Ava was here live from Ireland, definitely check that out. That was fantastic. We've done 2 episodes with Damien McGinty, who you know from Celtic Thunder and Glee. You know, of course, that famous series Glee on the Fox television network. Damien was here with 2 epic episodes. If you didn't see any of them, they're all archived right here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Check it out. You can enjoy it. You'll love it. Did you see the episode when Paul Green was with us? The brilliant Canadian actor, musician, and singer. He was live from his home in Los Angeles, California. You know him most notably from the Hallmark Channel's very popular series, When Calls the Heart, as Dr. Carson Shepard, but also so much more. He and I met at Carnegie Hall when we worked together on a beautiful music project. This was a very open and inspiring and revealing conversation with Paul. And he played music live for us as well. And it was just really epic. If you didn't see that episode, it's on our YouTube channel. Did you see Cousins Gibb? Yes. Did you see when Nick Endicott Gibb was on our show? He was live from London, England, from his studio. And his cousin Deborah, she is in Australia. She was ill, so we hope to have her back. But Nick was with us. Nick was on a forever search looking for who his biological father is. And he found out that his biological father is Morris Gibb from the Bee Gees. Yes, Robin, Barry, and Morris Gibb, the Bee Gees. He found out his father is Morris, and he was live from London, England for an epic exclusive conversation, which was really something. If you didn't see that episode, it's on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. You can scroll back. There's over 655 episodes. Actor and producer Rick Forrester is who he played on The Bold and the Beautiful, Justin Torkeldsen. He's also starring in Studio City. If you didn't see that episode, you can check that out on our YouTube channel as well, and so many others. Roger Ingram is going to be joining us coming up on May 16th. Legendary jazz trumpeter. He worked with Quincy Jones, Frank Sinatra, Woody Herman, and so many others. He's a legendary jazz trumpeter. He's one of the greats, and he's with us coming up on May 16th. We thank Olga Thomas for joining us live from London. You can share the link to this episode, the YouTube link, on your social media, folks. And thanks to those of you who have been doing that. We really, really appreciate your sharing the links to our episodes and getting the word out, spreading the word for us here on our YouTube channel and our entertainment lifestyle variety talk show series we call The Jim Masters Show. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Doesn't cost anything, and click the notification bell so you never miss any of our epic conversations and episodes. We thank Olga. And of course, if you enjoyed this episode and all the ones you enjoy, give us a like. There's a little thumbs up icon there that looks like a thumb on our YouTube channel on every episode. And drop a comment underneath this episode. If you have questions, if you want to say hi, if you enjoy our series, any of the episodes, if you enjoyed this episode, certainly connect with us. We're very responsive. Connect with us on our YouTube channel. We would love that. So you can be a part of our JMS Lovity Squad and our Lovity family. Thanks to everybody, all the great comments, all the activity. We love it, and it really was a blessing and a pleasure to have us joining you and you joining us. Again, David is with us tomorrow, and Casilla is with us on Tuesday, and then many, many, many more guests all next week. And we thank you for your time. This is Jim Masters here at our Lovity Hall studios of the Jim Masters Show. Really a pleasure to have you here. Again, if you want to check out the Jubilee album, available on all major platforms where music is streamed. You can download it. You can purchase the physical CD. You can go to the British Monarchists Society's website and the Jubilee Anthem 2022.com and so much more. Really, really fantastic. Great episode. We appreciate your time and attention. Gang, you're the best. We have the best audience around the world, viewing from the United States, Canada, Europe, Asia, Australia, New Zealand, and everywhere else. This is Jim Masters. We don't say goodbye here. We say see you later. We say shalom, sayonara, avida zain, hasta la vista. We say ciao, cheers, slancha, and be well, take care of one another, love one another, and be good to one another. And we will catch you on the next episode of the Jim Masters Show. Tell everybody you know in the world about our show. We've created a beautiful community here. We've done over 655 episodes of our series here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. And it's epic. And it's beautiful having all of you here joining us all the time. We'll see you again soon on the next one for those watching live. If you're not watching live, stay right here. Another episode comes up of the Jim Masters Show live, just for you, and you. Thanks, gang. You're the best. So cool to have you with us. We'll see you next time here on JMS. Take care. Cheers.